Galileo di Vincenzo Bonaetti de Galilei was an Italian astronomer, physicist and engineer, sometimes described as a polymath. He was born in the city of Pisa, then part of the Duchy of Florence. Galileo has been called the father of observational astronomy in modern physics with the scientific methods and modern science. Galileo studied speed and velocity, gravity and free fall, the principle of relativity, inertia, projectile motion, and also worked in applied science and technology, describing the properties of pendulums and hydrostatic balances. He invented the thermoscope and various military compasses, and used the telescope for scientific observations of celestial objects. His contributions to observational astronomy include telescopic confirmation of the phases of Venus, observation of the four largest satellites of Jupiter, observation of Saturn's rings, and analysis of lunar craters and sunspots. Around December 1, 1609, Italian mathematician Galileo Galilei pointed a telescope at the moon and created modern astronomy. His subsequent observations turned up four satellites, massive moons, orbiting Jupiter and showed that the Milky Way's murky light shines from many dim stars. Galileo also found sunspots upon the surface of our star and discovered the phases of Venus, which confirmed that the planet circles the Sun inside Earth's own orbit. Galileo's championing of Copernican heliocentrism, Earth rotating daily and revolving around the Sun, was met with opposition from within the Catholic Church and from some astronomers. The matter was investigated by the Roman Inquisition in 1615, which concluded that heliocentrism was foolish, absurd, and heretical since it contradicted Holy Scripture. I give infinite thanks to God, who has been pleased to make me the first observer of marvelous things, he wrote. The 45-year-old Galileo didn't invent the telescope, and he wasn't the first to point one at the sky. But his conclusions changed history. Galileo knew he'd found proof for the theories of Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus, who had launched the scientific revolution with his sun-centered solar system model. Galileo's work wasn't all staring at the sky. Either his studies of falling bodies showed that objects dropped at the same time will hit the ground at the same time, barring air resistance, gravity doesn't depend on their size. And his law of inertia allowed for Earth itself to rotate. Galileo later defended his views in Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems in 1632, which appeared to attack Pope Urban VIII and thus alienated both the Pope and the Jesuits, who had both supported Galileo up until this point. He was tried by the Inquisition, found vehemently suspect of heresy, and forced to recant. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest. During this time, he wrote two new sciences in 1638, primarily concerning kinematics and the strength of materials, summarizing work he had done around 40 years earlier. But all this heavenly motion contradicted Roman Catholic doctrine, which was based on Aristotle's incorrect views of the cosmos. The Church declared the sun-centered model heretical, and an inquisition in 1616 ordered Galileo to stop promoting these views. The real blow from religious officials came in 1633, after Galileo published a comparison of the Copernican, sun-centered, and Ptolemaic, earth-centered, systems that made the latter's believers look foolish. They placed him under house arrest until his death in 1642, the same year Isaac Newton was born. The English mathematician would build on Galileo's law of inertia as he compiled a set of laws so complete that engineers still use them centuries later to navigate spacecraft across the solar system, including NASA's Galileo mission to Jupiter.